Hello friends. The preliminary examination is over and you might be anxiously seeing the keys for the questions that you have written in preliminary examination. But I wanted to make this point very clear. Yes, it was a little harder than the last year. So last year, what was the cutoff? Yes, from that, the cutoff is going to get reduced. And you should also understand, yes, there are multiple keys. There are confusing keys. Different institutes have different keys. If you observe closely, these are institutes with such high resource, such high number of consultants and so many well-read people. If these institutes are making errors in the keys, okay, if these institutes are making errors in the keys, and if they are, so for example, some institutes had postponed the publication of the key because they had to check and recheck. So if they are not able to do this with such a big team, you should feel happy that inside the examination hall you have done relatively well. This is what UPSC is looking for. UPSC, if you happen to see, it is not looking for a person who knows all the 100 questions, how it is, what it is. See, UPSC is in simple terms saying, if you are relatively logical and if you are able to clear a simple question that I am asking, so if you are able to put your logic and make through this exam, you can come right mains. That is what UPSC is looking for. UPSC is not looking for all these 100 answers. That you have to know. And with that, so for example, if you see what I personally feel, this is my personal thing. What I personally feel is that last time the general cutoff was 46 net. So that is 92. And 45 net for OBC. So it was around 90. So what I feel, and other subcategorization were there, schedule cash, schedule tribe, 75 was the mark. But this time I feel, if you are a person scoring above 85, okay, 85 marks, okay, 85 marks, that is between the net of 42 and 43, yes, it is seemingly very less. But if you are scoring 85 in one institute key, do not have multiple keys, because multiple institutes are giving multiple different answers and no one knows, really no one knows the answer. That is the point. That is why they have postponed. That you should understand. See, if they had known the answer very clearly, they could have posted it, right? Even so, after browsing through the question, even after using so many laptops, I have asked so many friends, even then there are so many confusions. In this solution, I will tell you the confusions also, because not every question is very clearly marked and clearly answered. This time it did not happen. So what you have to understand is that if you are a person scoring above 85, please do start reading. Do not keep checking keys and waste your time. Start reading. Let us assume good is going to happen and we will start reading. Okay. And yes, the paper was a little tough. And CSAT was very tough. So it was not a CSAT paper. So that is not a CSAT paper, and it was very tough. So with that information, I think we can move forward. Asked for, in the sense that two things they've asked. In the sense for making this video in Tamil. Yes, so I will be posting it in English now, and I would put the Tamil version also subsequently. So two same video, I'll make it in English and in Tamil. So the English version is what you will see now. In Tamil version, the later which is going to be published. And there is a and another thing, many had asked Telegram group for sharing this current affairs and things like that, and I have made this Telegram group, and the link will be in the description, so you can join that and we can go into the. So with that, we'll go into the video and we'll start solving. And mind you, the keys are different, yes, but we will see how we can solve the questions. That is what we are going to see. Our aim is, how do you solve this tough question paper where every key is different? How do you do that inside the hall? This is what we'll focus on, how to approach the question. So we'll do that, and let us go into the video. Hello friends. In this video, we will see the UPSC CSE 2021 GS Paper 1 Solution and Analysis. And my name is Sivarajarajendran. And with that information, we'll go into the video. And what we will see predominantly through these videos is that how do you approach a question inside the examination hall? Because the static part everyone would have explained and you would also know it better, but how do you approach answers inside the hall is what actually materializes in terms of results. So for example, let us assume that we are going to take this question paper and we are going to solve sequentially. So the first question, how do you approach? So Reserve Bank, it is a question about Reserve Bank. As I said, it should be about first marking the important keywords. They are asking what are all the correct things. So what are all the correct things, we'll see one by one. But how do you approach logically means, see, this is the part I will concentrate first, because it says that certain provisions in the Constitution of India gives direction to the central government, give the central government the right to issue directions. See, Constitution, you would have learned Lakshmikant. This information, I don't think any where in the Constitution there is a provision which provides that central government can give direction to RBI. No, this is not there. This is something. This is something which is wrong. So simply when you remove this, see, simply when you remove this, the answer does come. Am I making sense? See, in this point, you should be very careful, my friends, because we can study, we can learn, because yes, RBI Act. So yes, this is true. Governor of an RBI draws his power or his or her power from an RBI Act. True. And this is the Act. So this is the Act according to, this is the RBI Act. And this is the article or section 8 of the RBI Act, where it says that governor is appointed by the central government. See, this is what they have given. This is the first statement. Yes, it is true. And the third statement is also true. But when we are in, this is about static reading. You have to read RBI Act and you have to know how they are appointed. Yes. But how do you approach inside the hall means you have to look for this first thing when you are approaching. This is the thing you have to have an eye on. So when you remove this, answer will definitely come. The next, this is a very simple question where you have to understand when there is a recession. In economics, simple terms you have to understand. When there is a recession, only one thing you have to know is money supply should be increased. That is, when there is a recession, the money goes low. So what is your job is to increase. So what they are saying, first statement, cut in tax rates. It looks good because when tax rates are cut, the money supply will increase. But another statement is accompanied by another statement, increase in interest rate. So when your interest rate goes up, will you actually get money from your bank to invest in something? No, right? So this is wrong. So our aim is to increase money supply. Whether this is not possible. Again, here the statement is completely wrong because reduction in expenditure. So how would you improve money supply if you are reducing expenditure? This is wrong. And again, increase in tax rate. See, tax rates, if they are going to increase, obviously money supply will come down. So only one statement is left. This is the answer. So B is the answer. So this is how you find. So this is how you also inside the hall use simple things and simple steps. No complicated meanings and complicated structures. This is this was in BBC where our former Prime Minister Dr. Manmohan Singh had given three for Corona. So in the time of Corona, there was a slump in demand and many other things went spiraling down. So in order to improve this recessionary period, he gave this step. So what is he saying? See, this people's livelihood, that is, government has to ensure that the spending power is increased. So same thing. Next, adequate capital is increased to businessmen. What is the meaning means push the money, so increase the money. So when you have to increase the money, you have to increase expenditure on public projects. This is the point. Next, so this is and all some kind of a wonderful logical question only. See, there is no point in thinking about whether you have read this or not. When a good might, see, they are asking when a demand. So there's a keyword, when a demand for a good might increase. This is the point. So I will in you have an example. I will have an example of maybe shuttlecock. So I will have an example of the shuttlecock. This you many would be playing with this Mavis. I think Mavis 350 or something. One plastic. It's a nice car. Or then there will be a feather cock. Badminton, anybody has played, there will be a feather cock. So let us assume that everyone is playing with this Mavis 350 and this feather cock, and let us assume one other thing is also there, maybe 110 or something. The rates vary according to the quality of the car. But I am assuming that the Mavis 350, which everyone is using, suddenly it went high. Suddenly they are increasing the rate, and suddenly everyone now, let us assume it was 100 rupees, now it has become 150 rupees. So when it is going up, definitely, at least some people will come down to this 110, a little lower version, but okay, in the budget we have, it will be manageable. That is what people will think, and that is what is they are asking. They are asking, is this a kind of a very difficult economics question? It is a very basic thing. Every day playing cricket, or you can put this as cricket ball. Different types of tennis ball will be there. One ball, we'll be using one ball very frequently, but when the rate goes high, we will actually come down to some other company, right? And that is what is the first statement. See, when the increase in demand demand of a product, when it will increase, means the price of its substitute increases. That is what, when your demand for this 110 will increase, means price of Mavis 350 increases. True, and this is price of its substitute. Complement is a different word. It is playing with these words only they are doing. And good is an inferior good, and income of consumer increases. This does not sound correct at all. And why the other reason might be is that the price falls. Why the demand of a good might increase means, if the price of so here Mavis 350 is stable, but this price decreases. So immediately there will be increase in demand for buying this also. So if you happen to see, so 1 and 4 is the answer. So this will be the answer. So A is the answer. This is how, in simple terms, please try to solve this question. Do not complicate this thing. And this is another question. For example, this is something UPSC has given to make you understand that reading paper is the most important thing that you can do in UPSC. My friends, reading paper is not about reading paper for 4 hours. It is about reading paper 1 hour. Whether you have to take notes also, you don't have to take elaborate notes. But 1 hour paper, if you read, you will be able to clear this exam. That is what UPSC is trying to give through this question. And many of the questions in the prelims question paper, because if you have seen, these materials run down to 400 300 pages. And have you seen in this question paper how many questions have come in this 300 odd 400 odd pages? Instead, if you had read paper last year and all, see the headlines. So these are the headlines of last year. RBI cancels license of Goa based urban cooperative bank. Next, RBI panel merger for urban cooperative banks. Next, Parliament passes DICGC. This was in August. See, this was very recent, August 2021. This what they have done is that they have increased the deposit insurance from 1 lakh to 5 lakh. This was announced in the budget, and they have passed it also. what they are doing is that they are increasing the capability of the bank for if there is any falter, they should be able to have this insurance cover so that they get at least 5 lakh, because I think 2019 and 2020 many urban cooperative banks failed. There were so many, see this virtual collapse of Punjab and Maharashtra cooperative banks, placed under the directions of Reserve Bank of India. Every paper had this news, and this is why paper reading will be important. So now come to this statement. See, they are saying they are supervised and regulated by what? Local boards. Is this the point you have seen in paper all along? This is why, for example, if you read the material, you might not have this understanding of all these things. You might have a knowledge of something, but understanding why something is happening is very key. For example, what UPSC is becoming as an evolving examination, it is becoming like this. It is asking for your application of mind. It is not asking for something that you know. And when you remove this, you remove this. Now it goes away. Remove one. Not this. You have to remove one. So this is wrong. So remove one. Only, it's a very fascinating thing, right? I have not even read this 2 and 3, whether yes, actually they can issue equity share and preference shares. It is true. This has happened because they are less in the capital they have. The government has allowed them to get their money through these equity shares and preference shares. Okay, and they were brought under the purview of Banking Regulation Act through an amendment in 1966. See, that is what I'm saying. What you should know is that urban cooperative banks, see the headlines which are there. You don't even have to go inside and read at all. Headlines, if you have seen, you would know that it is monitored or supervised by RBI. So this is what our UPSC is expecting. UPSC is expecting this answer B, a logical answer, not something which you have very tough, because with the materials which are there, they are very tough. And the next is simple. This is and all very no complicated things. One important thing, bond yield. So what is if there is a bond yield, they are influenced by money supply. Am I making sense? Any money supply is there. How much money supply is there? They will be influenced. And yes, actions of Federal Reserve, if they are Federal Reserve, whatever does money supply does get affected. Our RBI does something, yes, money supply gets affected. There is an inflation and interest rate, yes, money supply is in all these three, you don't have to think about whether this will affect bonds. No. All these three will affect the money supply. When money supply is affected, bond yield will be affected. And the answer is a simple D. So you should not even think about marking this and coming out. So this is the point. And this is kind of a tough question. I asked my friends, even some friends in RBI, even they were actually thinking how this is a little tough. But answer, I'll tell you, FDI. So foreign direct investment, that is investment in India. Okay, this word I knew, in the logic behind how to approach a difficult question like this, because it is a very difficult question. So how do you approach means foreign direct investment means you are investing in India, right? This is non-resident external deposit. This is not FDI. This is not FDI, right? You read FDI. They are investment in India. You read that statement, non-resident external deposit. The words does not mean foreign direct. There are no investment. It is an external non-resident, deposits. If you remove this, slowly remove this. These two answers go away. Slowly they will that is what, in solving these questions, you should not panic. Slowly they will vanish. It's a tough question, but when these two vanish, these two are left. And in this, then what it means is 3 is definitely true. You don't have to worry about 3 at all. Now you have to worry about whether 1 and 2 is true. Yes, actually 1 and 2 is true. And the answer is A. So this is how you find, my friend. And then this next step, very simply, what is the effect of devaluation? What is devaluation means? If $1 is there, if it is 50 rupees, so $1 is 50 rupees is the normal means. Devaluation means $1 becomes 100 rupees. So the value of the rupee goes low, means it is called as devaluation. And if you happen to see, the first statement is true. The effect of devaluation improves the competitiveness. What will happen is that it is a very simple logic. When the devaluation happens, that is, the value of the rupee goes low, our export will increase. Why the export will increase means, this is one simple thing. Earlier, if I give $1, I will get only 50 rupees amount of material. Correct. But now if I give $1, I will get 100 rupee value of material. For the same amount of money, I am going to get double the amount. So my exports will definitely increase. And this is the first statement. See this. Improves the competitiveness of the domestic exports. This is the statement. Increases the foreign value of domestic currency. No, it actually decreases the foreign value. That is, domestic currency's value decreases. This is wrong. It improves the trade balance. This is the point. How is it going to affect? This is going to affect your export. Okay. But it is also how it will improve means, then your exports will increase, your imports will also become costly, my friends. That is the key, right? Now your imports will also be costly because you have to import. Let us assume you have to import oil, so you have to pay higher amount for buying oil. Earlier, yes, exports are increasing. Good, devaluation happens, exports are increasing, but your imports will also cost much. And then, so answer will be, these two are wrong. So this is the answer. A is the answer. So next, this is a very simple, this is reading comprehension. This is what we saw. This is not something in the sense there is no twist or nothing is there in this. Black money, reading comprehension. What is the main cause of worry for the government of India? Government of India, you have to see what is the worry they have. Diversion of resources to purchase real estate. Why only diversion to real estate they are going to worry? For maybe let us assume gun running is there, some cocaine, many other drugs will, black money can be used for that, trafficking they can use. So the diversion of, why government has to worry about diversion to so many other areas? That is what I say. Reading comprehension. This is no way connected to economics. This is something illogical thing. This is wrong. Next, investment in unproductive activities. That is what I said. Not only why they are going to worry here. Unproductive activities, maybe terrorist activities they have to worry, and large donation for political parties and growth of regionalism. See, why are they going to worry about something which they are going to get? They are going to get money means, why are they going to get worried at all? So this 3 is wrong. So this is the constitutionally valid. Only one statement is there, that is D. Simple D. Okay. Next, most inflationary. This question has already appeared in so many question papers. It is already a previous year question paper. So the most inflationary among the step is that creation of new money to finance your budget. This is what has happened in Zimbabwe or many other countries. They will have this budget deficit. So you will know this this story. Budget deficit will be there. That is, the revenue they have will not match their expenditure. The expenditure will be very high. So what they will do, they will match this by printing money. You would have seen this. WhatsApp video also. There is a movie where there is a dictator in Africa. They show that dictator, he goes to the RBI or Reserve Bank of that country and asks the person to print more money, but that person refuses, so he shoots that person and he makes another person as the chairman and that asks that person to print. So this kind of that is why many of the democratic countries were called as banana republics. This creation of, that is why in India it does not happen. There is a logic of why we don't print money and give it to everyone. No, because the value of money will ultimately go low. Money is ultimately, like in the movies heroes say, it is like a paper, right? The value depends on the backing that it has or the faith that it has. So this is the point. Next, money multiplier. Money multiplier, it is a very, very simple one simple fact. If you had known why money, in the sense that why money in an economy increases, means increase in the banking habit of the people. This is, see, increase in cash reserve ratio, actually money supply goes low. Increase in statutory SLR will go low. Increase in the population, see, I can increase the population to any number of people, but whether they will be productive or come into the banking habit, no. So banking habit, when it comes, they will be increasingly putting money and that will increase the money multiplier. So that is, I invest in bank, I deposit in bank, banks invest in something. That is how money multiplies, right? And this demand pull inflation. And this is logically, you have to see, my friends, they are saying that demand is increasing. See, the inflation is increasing by the demand, right? This word is the key. Inflation is increasing by demand means when the interest rate goes high, I give you, let us assume I give you 100 rupees at 2% interest. You will take that. But if I increase it to 20%, will you get this money and will you buy something? No, right? So when the interest rate increases, how this demand will increase? That is inflation through demand. How it is going to increase? So this is wrong. So see here, see the beauty of UPSC. So this is the answer. A is the answer. So A is the answer. Next, this is also one. This current affairs question. This was recently amended or changed. What happened was, recently, yes, retail investors have been given the power or given the chance to invest in treasury bonds. Treasury bills. Earlier it was not true, but this is current affairs paper. This is what reading paper will give you. In paper it was there. So this is true, and but this is a tough question. So this is also true, but my friends in RBI told that this third statement, only Bombay Stock Exchange, not Reserve Bank of India. So this statement is wrong. So 1 and 2 is right. And if you happen to see, this is a kind of a tough statement, but see this is the current affairs. So this is what I said. See, February 2021, because the government wants to take in any investment that is coming from any which way. Because of corona, the crash crunch is very much high, and government wants to take in any amount of money, and hence in February they have changed it. Now retail investors can also borrow or invest in T-bills. See this short-term instrument. What are treasury bills? Short-term instruments in the nature of 91 days, 182 days, 364 days. So this is something which you have to know. And then this water credit. Usually, my friends, what is water? So reading comprehension, usually, actually, I see when you read this water credit, yes, puts microfinance tools, true, water, true, aims to enable poor, water credit, you are giving credit to water supply, something, right? This two is right. But whether 1 and 3 or 1, 2, 3, this is a confusing statement or confusing question. But when I solved, I chose D. But the answer is actually, this is wrong. It is not a global initiative by World Health Organization. No, micro water credit is actually done by this small loans, this done by water.org. It is an NGO. So usually this does happen. See, when you're solving questions like this, yes, I took 1, 2, 3 only. Every little detail is not possible, my friends. But see, the water credit means, think about it. They are giving credit for water, so improving water facility. 1 and 3 is definitely right. Your doubt should be whether 2 is right. If it is on the day, what choice you make is the choice. Next, the lender of, so RBI is the lender of last resort. Last resort means, meaning itself, see, finally when there is no chance, RBI lends. Lending to trade and industry bodies when they fail to borrow. See, why should RBI be worried about any industry? See, they are worried about the whole economy, right? They are a holistic organization. This is not true. This is a very narrow, simplistic work done by banks. That is why banks are there, not RBI. RBI is a lender of last resort. So lending to government to finance budget deficit, no. Now that is what we saw, right? Budget deficit, if you are going to fund it through these RBI, it will be most inflationary. So RBI does not. So yeah, that question itself is there. So it is not true. 3 is not true. So the answer which is left is 2. So this is the answer. B is the answer. Next, R2 code of practices. My friends, many had, I think, many had marked wrong or something. Constitute a tool for promoting the adoption of. You should understand that this you will know. Montreal's protocol or something is there for wetlands. This UPSC has asked it also. This you should know. And sustainable practices in cultivation of agricultural crops in degraded lands. R2 code of practices, environmental, whether this will come. The most appropriate is, and the most pressing problem for everyone is this: e-waste. E-waste is the question. Everyone, there is a problem of e-waste, and the government is finding it difficult for solving this. This is what is in news. This is the answer. You should have picked. This is not guessing. R2 code of practices, read the 4 statement, which is more appropriate. I would definitely pick A only. See, answer is A, e-waste recycling certification. And this copper smelting. So this is also another question. Copper smelting. Yes, copper, slag, heavy metals. Yes, true. They are passed. And sulfur dioxide as a pollutant is also passed. And yes, carbon dioxide is also passed. But the word that UPSC has given, this is the logic. This is the logic you should see. They may release lethal quantities of carbon monoxide. This is where you have to remove 1 and C or B is the answer. Lethal. So they are saying lethal. And this is furnace oil. Whatever it is, oil. Okay, when it is an oil, it is a product of oil refineries. True. Some industry, see, oil can be used for power. True. It causes and see, if it is an oil refinery, yes, sulfur will be there. Oil refineries have sulfur. Okay, sulfur dioxide release, like in here, release of sulfur dioxide. In oil also it will be released. So furnace oil, something in furnace they are getting. Oil refineries, it is a product of oil. They say it is okay, we'll take that for granted. And they will be used for power, yes, and emissions of sulfur dioxide will be there. This is the answer. And this is also one such question here. Many had made, say, R2 code of practices. It is like this question. So for this, you have to have an understanding of common knowledge, blue means many schemes refer to blue, they refer to water. Am I making sense? It is oceans. Carbon captured by oceans and coastal ecosystem. Simple. What you should not even confuse about anything. No other answer actually has anything related to blue in them. This is wrong. This is green, right? Forest. This is green. Petroleum, no. Atmosphere, no. Oceans, oceans. Okay. And found surviving in soil without soil. And you should know this is lichen. That is, they are a composite organism of algae, that is cyanobacteria. It is called as algae. Algae can make their own food and fungi. And you should know that this lichen question was a previous year question. They had asked this question already. So if you had read previous year, so in the sense that believe everything, if you had read that previous year question, you would know lichen. Yes, what is lichen? Without soil it will grow because it has this algae which can make its own thing, and there is a fungi. And now you would have to choose between these two because lichen is there, so this two is there, so you have to make your choice whether 3 is correct. But yes, moss is true, 3 is correct, C is the answer. So this is the answer, and this is the thing. And so we will see each so one I not a continuous video, each will be in one separate session. So the next video will be in the next session. So please do like it, share it, and subscribe. Thank you.